All right, better everybody. So what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be going over this fresh and fit video, which is gonna be labeled "Bot-minded girl says this about Tate's allegations." So if you guys don't know, shout out to Top G, free to Top G. Definitely a Top G supporter. This is basically gonna be a video going over the concept of what a bot-minded individual is. It has nothing to do with male or female. A bot, in the sense of what we mean by it, is whenever you have somebody that just regurgitates information that the media platforms have put out there for you to believe, right? So, if the media tomorrow comes out and says you should be afraid of cats for whatever reason, like anytime you see a cat, run. And then you just run with that logic, knowing that, okay, something about that may not sound right. Instead of actually doing research, instead of actually thinking critically, you're just going to be like, oh, I'm afraid of cats. And when somebody asks you, hey, why are you afraid of cats? You can't tell them why because the news didn't really give you the best reason. They just said don't like cats. So that's what you're going to regurgitate. So basically, what I'm assuming, because I haven't watched the video, she's probably going to say something along the lines of, he deserved it. That's pretty much what most women are saying. Keep in mind, he is innocent until proven guilty, but most of them will just generically say, nope, he's guilty. I believe it. So let's watch the video. Before you watch the video, though, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, and let's get locked in.
On the couch. Innocent, guilty. What do you think?
Innocent.
Guilty.
Who said guilty?
Who's the guilty?
19-year-old.
Egypt.
Okay, so the first thing that sticks out to me is not necessarily that it has 100% something to do with the age, but the simple fact that the age is 19 and that this is, I'm assuming, going to be the person that is bot-minded because everybody said yes and she said no. Age definitely has something to do with, more impressionable, more on social media, more easily to believe certain things that they see while scrolling. So let's just keep going.
Why do you think
What
that?
makes you say that?
I just feel like he guilty because his whole perspective, like I feel like he would do that.
What about his
So the first thing I want to be able to say is that I notice a lot whenever I watch podcasts like this or just interactions with the younger, modern woman and things like that. You can tell a lot of times that pretty privilege has kicked in and a lot of women that are attractive don't really get asked to explain why they view things the way that they view them, because the way that you answer kind of shows your experience from having similar situations. So the way that she's answering, she literally said, I feel this way because his perspective. She didn't really give any tangible information to say why I think he's guilty. Like let's go back and listen to the answer one more time.
Perspective, like I feel like he would do that. His whole perspective, like I feel like he would do
His whole perspective. What about the perspective? You literally just said his perspective is why I think he would do that. But what about the perspective, right? Let's
he
continue.
would do that.
What about his perspective makes you think that?
I just feel like he would do that. Like
Because what?
wasn't a charge for like trafficking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about his perspective
So this individual's name is Snick. I'm familiar with him. He basically asked the correct question. Okay, so you said his perspective, but what about his perspective would lead you to believe that he actually did that? And then she followed up the question with, well, I mean, what is the crime again? Sex trafficking. Oh, well, yeah, I think he did that because of his perspective. That still doesn't answer the question of why you think he's guilty. You literally just said, what are the charges? Oh, those are the charges? Yep. He definitely did it because of his perspective. Let's continue.
makes you think that he would sell women for money?
Because
Misogyny.
he don't like. I feel like he doesn't
She don't know.
respect women like that.
He doesn't respect women. He says that women are beautiful creatures that need to be taken care of, and
So to be fair, she provided us with a reason, right? So the reason that she's giving us is because she says she doesn't think that he respects women. I don't know if you guys notice, a woman in the background basically is calling out the fact that she knows this woman doesn't even know why she doesn't like this man. I don't know if y'all caught it in the background. Woman basically said she doesn't know. Listen for it.
Like I feel like he doesn't
She don't know.
respect women.
You heard that? She don't know. So she's cutting her off because, like, girl, you just up here saying nonsense, which is true. I just appreciate the fact whenever men or women somebody is calling out the nonsense whenever you acknowledge that that's what's happening, because this is nonsense. I feel like I think like, come on, let's keep going.
Like that.
He doesn't respect women. He says that women are beautiful creatures that need to be taken care of, and women are one of the most beautiful things about this
It's
world.
probably easy to ask her, what does she think he's done that has been disrespectful to women, or what is his thoughts or ideologies has been disrespectful to
That's a
women?
good question.
Yeah.
Mostly stuff I see on Instagram, like he's just
Of course, how do we know, right? What you usually find out with the Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tates and the Fresh and Fits and all these people that women don't like, that they label misogynistic and all these other things, rarely are you going to hear them say, I watched an entire interview, I watched an entire video. They are literally forming an entire opinion over somebody from 15 to 30-second clips / shorts / reels on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So let me ask you a question. Don't you think that pretty much in everybody's existence, I can go find 15 to 30 seconds that I can show them in a light that may not be the most positive light? And then you could agree that it would be easy to say, well, you know, maybe some of that's taken out of context. Well, yeah. If I show the Pope cursing somebody out without any context, it's just the Pope cursing somebody out. It doesn't mean that the Pope is not religious. It doesn't mean that the Pope is actually a bad guy. It just means that I only got 15 to 30 seconds. I don't know what happened leading up to the Pope cursing somebody out. So for me to then go forward and say, yep, I think the Pope's a bad person because I saw a 15-second clip on Instagram, it's a pretty ignorant thing to say. So I just want you guys to acknowledge that thankfully there are people that ask the right questions to get the people to explain themselves. And what you realize is they really can't even explain themselves. They've just convinced themselves that this is what I believe, and when asked why I believe it, I can't really articulate that to you, but just know this is what I believe. You kind of have to laugh at it, but let's continue.
just seems like that type of person.
Does he say I can't drive type shit? You keep it on me.
What did you see?
I've seen a lot of stuff on Instagram.
Like,
Can you
did you
name one
actually
thing?
one thing?
One thing specifically.
So notice, you have somebody else calling her out. Woman with the pink hair said, well, what did you see? I don't know. I seen a lot of stuff. Okay, well, you seen a lot of stuff. Notice how her and the men now say, okay, well, can you name one thing? Because I'll give you an example, right? If there's something that I dislike, I guarantee you I can give you reasons why I dislike it. Example, right? I dislike the fact that if I go to McDonald's and my food is not hot, like piping hot, I dislike that. Now, somebody may be like, Tyree, why do you dislike going to McDonald's and not getting piping hot food? Because I'm paying full price to get piping hot food. They advertise the food is hot. Food doesn't taste as good when it's cold or lukewarm versus when it's piping hot. The fries have a little extra crunch whenever they're piping hot versus, cool and soggy. I just gave you multiple examples. The burger doesn't taste the same. I don't want a cold burger. Why? Because I don't like the way it tastes. I don't like the texture. I don't like the flavor. I just gave you multiple reasons. What she is showing is that I just told y'all there are a lot of reasons why I don't like him. Okay, well, give us one specifically. She cannot. Which is why the video is titled Bot-Minded Girl, because bots cannot articulate why they dislike something because they've been programmed to dislike something and they can't acknowledge that it's programming. They've convinced themselves that I formed this opinion based off of X, Y, and Z, but whenever you ask them to display the X, Y, and Z reasons, they can't do so. So let's continue.
One thing.
She probably saw a 15-second clip.
I know.
Exactly.
Try to
Not
remember.
much, baby.
Look at that. Non-stop people are calling it out piece by piece. She probably saw a 15-second clip. Did y'all hear that? Let's replay that one more time.
One thing.
She probably saw a 15-second clip.
So you have multiple people calling it out. She probably saw a 15-second clip, which proves my point. If all you're going off of to judge somebody's entire life and their personality is off of 15 seconds, I would like to argue that it would be pretty easy to be able to form an opinion that is not accurate based off of a 15-second clip that could have been intentionally manipulated. I'm pretty sure they can go find an example of anybody that's done something wrong and show you that in a bad light of 15 seconds, this is just how they are in general. But obviously that's not true. Let's continue.
I know.
Exactly.
Try to
Not
remember.
too much, baby.
I honestly can't remember like how it
This is the
went,
whole
but-
point. She has strong opinions. She believes he's guilty, but she cannot name
No
one
facts.
reason why. And so I want to clear this up. That's why I want to ask you specifically.
Nail on the head. Strong opinions about somebody that she doesn't like, but she cannot tell you why she dislikes that person. Proof is in the pudding.
Because you've met him before. What was your experience with him? Do you think that he was disrespectful towards women?
No, I don't think he was disrespectful at all. He seemed like decent.
Perfect. Perfect example. You have a woman that saw a 15-second clip of a man she's never met before in her life, has negative opinions of this man, can't tell you why she has negative opinions. And then you have a woman that he has, okay, well, you actually met him in person. You actually got to interact with him more than 15 seconds. Do you think he's disrespectful to women? She says no. So that gives you a direct distinction between meeting somebody in person versus convincing yourself that this clip I'm seeing on Instagram, not knowing the intention of the clip, which usually is intentional to make you not like the person, has swayed my opinion. And instead of me saying, you know what, maybe he's not as bad as what I think he is on Instagram, she can't even take that. She's just like, nope, this is what I believe, and I'm gonna stand on that. I think that's the ignorance in people, that they don't like admitting, you know what, I read this wrong, I went about this the wrong way. I can admit that. They would just rather sulk in being wrong, and they're okay with that. So let's continue.
Like decent.
He didn't try to sell you?
I hear some doubt in there.
But I mean, there's no proof, so I would say like he's innocent, like until proven guilty.
Innocent
But
until proven guilty.
I don't think that he did that.
There you go. I mean, you see the stark difference between people who've seen 15-second clips on Instagram and people who have met him in real life. They all have the exact same opinion. They think he's an upstanding gentleman. And then people who just look at Instagram, they end up getting programmed. They believe that he's a bad person, and they have no reason ever as to why.
And I rest my case with that one, guys. So as you guys saw in this video, it's a perfect example. If somebody is given the ability to form an opinion of you based off of a 15-30-second clip, that is exactly what they will do. And what you find out very quickly is these are perfect examples of people that have never been challenged about what they view and why they view it that way. Most people are just going to let them say something and then continue on in a different conversational direction. This show shows, okay, it is okay to have beliefs, but it is not okay to have beliefs and then you cannot articulate why you have those beliefs, especially when it's at the detriment of you basically saying a man deserves to be in jail because you formed your opinion off of a 15-second clip whenever you've not only never met the man, but you also don't actually have proof that he did anything to justify saying you think that he did the crime, which means he deserves to be in jail. So with that being said, guys, more content like this is going to be dropping nonstop. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button at Tyree Reactions. Make sure y'all hit the like button to push those videos to the forefront, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.